Once upon a time, or maybe twice, there was an unearthly paradise called Pepperland.
Command engine start. 2, 1.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard tonight to the Inspirational Space Station right here tonight, way high above the hills of Petticoat and my tiny house live. You're in a very special spot tonight. You just happen to be there with me at the right time and space on our return to the cosmos. That's what we're looking at. I've been on planet Earth for, the last month or so working on my time machine, and now I've been called back up into space by my fellow friends up here, my inquisitors, my people who need to know more about our planet, have reached back to me and said, listen, we need you back up in here in space. We need you back up here in space. Come join us once again. We have questions for you. We're going to submit you questions tonight on your tiny house inspirational space station to help us better understand the people on your planet. Because frankly, we're afraid to come down. We're not sure about what your intentions are, particularly now what your intentions are with space travel, being an intergalactic species. So what I'm doing tonight, my friends, is I have a destiny plan set up with a creature who has told me his name is, wait, hang on a second. I think actually this is not him, but this is one of his representatives who I know has been kind of peeking in on me, and I think these guys have something to do with my visitor tonight. I'm just not exactly sure what. We'll find out more when he gets here. And that would be from the planet GARRETT. His name is Garrett, and he tells me he's from the Galactic High Command, and he's going to be submitting some questions to me. And on that basis, I'm going to be kind of giving those questions to you. And by giving them to you, I will be giving them to my upcoming guests coming in the rest of Season 10 as we now move into the part of the season that I'm enjoying, bringing guests into my show. That's what I'm looking forward to. I've been building up to it. I've been trying to get my time machine correct. I've been trying to get things correct. Technically, I do not want to bring people up here into my world if I don't think it's safe. And so I've been working on my time machine. I've been working on my Inspiration Space Station. It is now safe. Now what I need to do is connect with the spirits that have called me back up here and find out exactly what their intentions are. More than that, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with one. And we will be part of this conversation tonight with Garrett from the planet GARRETT. he tells me, and we'll find out more about the Galactic High Command and all that. I'm kind of waiting. I'm looking out my trajectory window over here. You can see it actually if you look over on this side over here. You'll see you can see how high we are above the planet tonight, right over there. And I'm kind of waiting for the right time and space, because sooner or later his spaceship is going to come in contact with mine, and then we're going to actually be able to connect, and he'll beam in here, and that's going to be a momentous time. This is history, folks. This is history right here. We're talking about alien species coming to my space station to talk about the future of our planet and its galactic creatures. This is news, my friends. News, I tell you. In my world, it's news. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hey, I'm starting to see something. Wait a minute. Oh, this could be. Oh, we're getting close. We are getting close. All right. My time and space looks good. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I do see him. I see his ship coming in. Hang on. Oh, let's look good. There it is. You see it? Look. He's starting to. I see a ship. There you go. Hang on. Oh, look at him. He's trying. I think he's trying to get in here. Oh, hang on. Keep trying. Try one more time. Keep going. Oh, you're getting. Yeah, give another. Yeah. Go. Try really hard. Garrett, get in here. Oh, good transition. You are in here in my world. Oh, my friend, tough landing. Actually, that's pretty smooth. Come on in here, man. Come in here and sit down in my cockpit. God, you're much larger than I expected. Oh, was that tiring?
Normally gives you quite an intense sense of vertigo. It's taken me about a good 1,500
years to get used to it, but even still,
yeah,
it takes a long time. Hold on, I gotta see the.
Take a deep breath. You've arrived.
We got you. You're safe. You're fine. It's even harder because I don't technically have lungs. It's actually a bunch of other microorganisms in there, basically doing the same thing.
Really?
But colloquially, it's the function.
It's kind of the same thing. You breathe oxygen.
Among other things.
Really? So do I.
Yeah, like nitrogen.
Like nitrogen. Yeah. Some of those other party drugs.
Exactly.
What?
Party drugs.
Party drugs.
On Clocks on 5, we only have something called, how would I translate it?
To
poppers?
Poppers? That's what you've gotten from us?
It's one of the very few things from Earth that we do truly come to appreciate as a delicacy.
You're not talking about jalapeno poppers, I imagine.
Well, they are a close second, unfortunately not.
Well, I knew tonight by bringing you into my inspirational space station from your outside world in. You realize I've been abducting people off the planet for, a good season now, bringing them up here, but I haven't brought anybody from the outside in.
We've been watching for quite some time. We actually are really, really impressed with the method in which you abduct people. It really puts a lot of our own operatives to shame. It's really quite nice, actually.
I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. So you're kind of happy with the results that I'm getting up here. And
absolutely. I mean,
fantastic.
Information is always going to build towards something good.
I knew that's kind of why you chose me, because I'm already outside. I'm already up here. I'm out there.
It was less work than trying to indoctrinate someone who would screaming and crying.
I know. Now
can't set up audio equipment. It's a nightmare.
Who's over here? The roadie's checked in over here. So can't wait to hear from the alien. Well, what would you like to hear from the alien? That's what we're going to find out tonight. That is what we're going to find out tonight, as we soar high above the planet. Let me see if I get us a better view out the window. I like to see where we're going tonight, not just fly blind. Hang on a second here as I readjust our windows. Oh my goodness! That'll do it. Come on.
Technical difficulties even for humans.
I know, it's tough, man.
It gets the best of everyone.
There it is.
Also, I would like to clarify my
let's do that.
Alien gray friends, who many of you are acquainted with the appearance of. It is more of a costume than we would like to admit. Generally, you guys had a great idea with the eyes and the large forehead. We figured it matched a lot of you guys specifically, and so we figured we might as well just lean into it. When something's low-hanging fruit, as you call it, you'd be a fool not to grab it.
I agree. It is an easy perception for us. Being small, demure, naked, bald, with big eyes, maybe green. There's nothing really threatening or risky about that to us.
The color is really not super relevant, we've discovered, but a nice, soft, almost dead gray or a ooze, bile-ish green.
Ooh.
It's really quite calming for people. It gives the sense of urgency, but in the way that you're really not sure if you're going to make it to that Starbucks bathroom urgency. Not like in a, am I going to have to foreclose on another housing property or something like that, you know. And I don't want to repeat 2008 again. Let me tell you, even for us over here on the Class on 5, it was way worse. You don't even have like a Jeff
Bezos. You don't have an Amazon up there in space? There's nobody controls your warehouses?
We do have a jungle, but there aren't any buildings in the jungle. It's just jungle.
It's just jungle, really?
It's just jungle. A lot of worms.
Now, what's the name of your planet again?
It's Glog.
Huh?
Glog. The L and the R kind of form one letter. It doesn't really make much sense for your ears, but just really get it from the bottom of your, what do you call that? Colon. Really let the energy come out and really go. Good. Exactly. Yeah, that's about as close as I trust you to get.
It's close.
If it were more honest for you to hear, it would probably drive you a little bit insane.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't necessarily want to go that far.
It's not worth it. Everyone's like, oh, hidden knowledge.
You know, French will do that to me. French will do that to me as well. It will drive me a little insane.
I'm going to have to personally agree with you.
You understand that one?
The point of character systems is usually to represent a concept or a word or sounds.
Yeah.
But French just takes all that and says, we should just do something else. Oiseau. Not spelled with a W. I don't like that.
We get the big tower. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, they already made us a tower. We don't need one that's just beams. Like, oh, great, I can watch a city that's sort of flooding and full of dogs. Even for cats up on our planet.
You got cats on your planet?
We have a couple. They were usually able pretty quickly to figure out how to get off the planet, spaceflight-wise. We're surprised they haven't shared you in with that or part of their
I wasn't aware of that.
And
our cats have not met. I have a cat, THC, a tiny house cat.
Tiny house cat, oh, lovely.
And he's not making an appearance tonight.
I don't know that varietal to be honest.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but...
The roadie says you sound almost like a Klingon. Is that a good thing?
While I do appreciate the artistic license you're taking there with that comparison, it does feel a little cheap. I would much prefer maybe the alien species from Fire on High. Sound. Just the idea of a thing that's over there, maybe kind of near you, and that's what I want to do, because I want to preserve the mystery, of course. I mean, some people want to share, the full divine truth, but for some people, I just, that's it. I don't need to go any further. I mean, you get the idea. I want to go,
Can you speak Klingon?
No, I've tried.
See, that's kind of...
They have an app, and I
know.
I never remember, and I turn off the notifications, and so at this point, it's just like, I don't even know what these words even mean.
I know. It just makes sense to you anyway. In a sense, it's kind of making fun of you, isn't it? And I understand that's kind of... By the way, you've got us really out here far tonight. I hadn't realized how far off course we've got. Look out the window. We're actually over the moon. Over the moon, Alice, right there. Look at us, right there. I didn't realize you've actually taken our meeting point very seriously.
Oh, absolutely. No, we do a lot of preparation beforehand just to make sure everything is absolutely okay.
We are way beyond low orbit, which is about 60 miles straight up. We talked about that.
Yeah. About Nevada or something.
About from here to the San Francisco. Maybe San Francisco. Straight up, and you're in outer space. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
I prefer word up, but I'll take straight up. Even bird up, honestly, either way.
Either way. When I'm looking around thinking, I know you brought a list of questions that you want to give me, and something you want me to carry on to ask future guests coming in. So when people watch this, they'll go, okay, I understand. When I appear on Tiny House Live in the season 10, there's going to be some questions asked, and there were in season 9 too. But now he's actually been more organized, giving me a whole file over here.
We want to share the information gathering process. It not only helps our species, but if we can share the information experience together, it creates a more wholesome environment.
There you go.
We are us a species on GARRETT we're very concerned with modern pedagogy and newer strategies for education and spreading that education.
You guys are really progressive, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Very progressive planet. I wasn't sure what to expect here.
I mean, you only just got like Will and Grace, so it's not that
you
progressive.
only just got Will and Grace.
But we're getting there. You know, we have the academic infrastructure built, but socially, people are much more concerned with like Duck Dynasty.
Oh well, that concerns me.
It is a little alarming for your species.
I do like the entrepreneurship of it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
I have
you
no
have to
problem with
respect the savviness.
No, the savviness and the duck calls are all great. I have no problem with it. And I don't even mind the beards. I have nothing against beards.
I don't really understand the concept of having hair, but
you know,
if I had to, I would say probably all just on the bottom, like just on the feet. I feel like that'd be more convenient. Like one of the
you want the hair on the feet, like, kind of the Frodo look.
Like the Frodo look, just
right.
like a horse. Like I don't want.
All right.
I don't have to deal with that.
That was one of my questions. Would you want hooves if you could? That's a really deep question.
It's gonna
stretch your mind right there.
I apologize if I snap sometimes, because sometimes I just get really into it. I don't want to like be upset. I'm not pointing it at you, but some questions I just really get going.
That one got you going, didn't it?
Oh my God!
I know. Now you're wondering what it would be like to have hooves.
Endless. The clacking alone.
Oh well, that is the downside. When you consider times 4.
Oh.
If you're on all fours.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like I'm trying to think what is the goat person who has only 2 hooves? Mythology, half man, half goat. Somebody's gonna have to tell us this reference. Clearly, we're gone over the edge.
Oh, we can ask one of my informants. She's usually pretty good at it. I haven't heard from her recently though. You might know of her. Her name is Kathy Griffin?
Kathy Griffin?
She has this wonderful educational series that I believe is...
Does she really?
Yeah, it's on the radio or the TV.
It's a blog. Everybody's got a blog.
It's
probably a blog. Everybody's got a blog. You got a blog? I got a blog.
Interesting. We have that's what we call kind of animal that's native to our planet. A blog. But it's more like...
blog. On the planet. Rat. You got a blog on a grat.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's one of our favorite childhood movies.
It's almost Scottish.
Exactly.
There's a real guttural Scottish.
You have to really put your whole, not just the sound thing you have.
Yeah.
But like your being, your energy. What do you call that? A soul.
You're putting your soul into it.
You're putting your soul into it.
Wow.
We don't have those either. It's very strange.
Well, you know how to make a duck into a soul singer, don't you?
Oh, no. I'm not familiar with this. How do you?
You put him in the oven until he's Bill Withers. Oh, man. Oh,
I know.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Where are we?
I know.
There was a need for that right there.
I have grown to tolerate these bits that you frequently use with me. It's part of a learning experience.
It is, especially on this show. You know, it's all about learning, and you've been learning a lot about us. Some good things, some bad things, I'm sure. I mean, when you're learning things, you're picking up through the airwaves. I know you can kind of fly by fast and get visuals of what we're doing down here, whatever that's worth. But I know you're tapped into our media. Mm-hmm. I mean, as I do, and half the time I'm in disbelief from what I see. And I'm sure you are too. And on that note, yes, I'm going to play that right now. I'm getting something from our control room saying, now's the time to play this, and I agree. I've got this queued up for us right here. And I know when you see these things from your perspective, you're wondering, you know, what is going on down here, and who are these people, and what are they really doing, and what are they bringing to the picture in the bigger game? So let's find out right now.
In a desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming, here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today. We've got some footage here of the bullshit, which began just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, when residents in this neighborhood were shocked to see this fairly common thing happening. An attractive witness described the event in breathless terms.
I went to my window and I was like, whoa, there's some bullshit happening.
That happened right over there.
I'm an older man, so you can trust what I say.
Authorities in special uniforms rushed to the scene to stand around while our cameras filmed them. Our reporter Keith Collins joins us now live from the scene of the bullshit through the use of expensive technology. Good to be with you again, Keith. We have a colorful graphic here that shows instances of bullshit like this are on the rise. Is that right?
Yes, although why is unclear. Some say it's because of one fucking reason. Others say it's because of some other fucking reason. I talked to this random expert on the subject who told me this thing you're about to hear him say right after he points at a piece of paper.
I spent my entire life attending the nation's most prestigious schools to talk about bullshit like this. I'm really just happy to be on TV.
Now let's see if we can drag this out a little longer by showing emails written by some of our viewers. I once saw some stuff kind of like the shit you're talking about happen. I have nothing more to add. Another person says, I am angry that things like this happen. I get mad about every bullshit thing I see. So obviously a lot of opinions there to make this story seem somewhat meaningful.
Oh, absolutely, Glenn. This bullshit has some broader implications. Here's a list of tips on how to avoid bullshit happening to you.
And here's some footage of Congress.
Yes, I see that.
Well, thank you, Keith. Let us know if there are any updates on this bullshit story from there.
There's no way there will be.
Very good. We'll check back with you in an hour anyway.
I'm just some fucking guy.
When we return, we'll look at live footage of a car chase taken from a helicopter and free associate about what's going on.
Well, I can understand why things like that would be confusing to you.
Absolutely. I only have more questions. Was the bear the one answering the questions? Because I've met some bears who could answer some questions. Nearby here, there's a town near a river. Quite a few bears there.
I was confused too by that report because part of it concerned me, and especially the old man who you could trust, and there's
Can
some.
we trust him?
That's my point, really. I mean, does age equal trust?
In my experience, usually once you get it past 600-700 years, it kind of gets shaky.
It gets shaky after that. How old are you, by the way? It's a good question. You have to count?
It's honestly anyone's guess. I mean,
You've lost count?
when you get to a certain point, you can't realistically put that many candles on a birthday cake.
So you
You
lose
can
track.
try, but at that point, you're just eating wax lips. Madame Tussauds.
So at some point you just kind of give up. I've kind of reached that point in my life where I've wondered, do I really need to keep counting? Isn't the question just about the longevity? How long can you make it? Not how old are you?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say for humans, it's the focus is on hitting milestones.
Exactly.
Like when you turn 20 or 21, it's like, ooh, you can now drink beverages that kill you slowly.
Exactly.
When you hit 50, it's like you're halfway till you start decomposing. Or when you hit 100, it's, wow, you survived a lot longer, but you're very quickly going to start decomposing. And that's, I think, to be celebrated, dreaded. I don't know.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen to humans.
You know,
We
I
don't
know
do
because
that.
with the list that you've given me, we're going to get to that in a second here. With the list that you've given me, I know that's one of the questions you had about our perception of life in general. As maybe it's a good time to actually review this list and see what. Review these questions you've given us, and we'll chat a little bit about them. These are the questions, by the way, that Garrett has given me here on the Inspirational Space Station, and it's to relate to all of you and my future guests coming in here, because these are questions that you need to know. I mean, these are very revealing questions to us. They say a lot about our planet in general, and the people who are on it. And the ultimate goal is to what?
Eat hot chip and lie is something I've been told. But I couldn't tell you what that means, only it's an answer to those kind of questions. And I have promised, personally, not to keep adding addendums or modifications to the questions, because the more I find out, the more unsatisfied I am with how I set it up and how I'm going to explain it. But at that point, I'm just adding 3 extra hours of conversation for each question. Doesn't need to be answered.
This is why you're all about time travel, time and space, isn't it?
Because sometimes you need more time, and you really can't fit all of that in. And I don't like planning ahead. I don't do that. I like people who can. It's inspiring and all that. Jamie Lee Curtis, whatever. But I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm not trying to really think that hard in advance. I mean, I'll dip around a little bit.
And this is what I found, because as you gave me the secrets to time travel, when I brought it back to the planet surface, I realized it's really easy to go forwards in time. Faster you go in position to other people, the faster your time is ahead of them. But it's nearly impossible to go backwards in time. And then the conundrum exists. What if you went backwards in time and met your parents and said, no, don't get married, which means you never would have been born? What would happen then? That's a real conundrum.
Well, what happened to this one guy I went to college with is he ended up putting himself in his own doomed timeline, which is basically like the rapture, but everyone but you made it. It gets really messy.
Yeah.
And so I don't recommend doing too much, oh, hey, I'm like my grandfather or whatever. It's not worth it. It's too much of a headache. And then you have to close the loops.
You see?
Too many time loops. Oh my God.
Well, this is why I decided, I'm going to answer your call and come back up here.
Wonderful.
Because for me, there's more freedom of expression up here in space. I'm not limited by the earthly gravity of people's thoughts and gravity in general. I'm up here where it's a little bit freer and the air is clear, and you look out that window and you say, hey, it's nice out there, man. The earth spinning below us.
A little dusty, but not enough. Not like the Gobi or the Sahara. Did you know they have spiders that just spin down like a Ferris wheel in there?
Where is this?
In the Gobi Desert, maybe the Sahara Desert.
Really?
One of those two big deserts.
Really?
It's probably one of my top 5 favorite Earth things.
Oh, I have to look at that. Your perspective is amazing, since you've seen it all from the outside looking down at it. You've seen some amazing things, haven't you?
Everything just seems a little bit flatter. The pyramids, I didn't understand them until I got down. I just thought, it's a triangle.
Well, there's a lot of thought on our planet about whether there's a flat Earth or a half-round Earth, or is a hollow Earth. There's a lot of urban legends. There's a lot of different thought. I like to think that if there's one thing I've learned from you and life in general, is that I believe in everything. And then I'm never really wrong. I may be disproved, and I could go, okay, all right, I wasn't right. This appears to be correct. But then at least I haven't shot down the idea in general. I'm open to the outcome, not attached to it.
I promised I wouldn't try to instigate anything.
All right.
But I gotta say, it's
Come on, give it to me.
It's a little bit of a cop-out. It's like when someone says, oh, I'm agnostic.
All right.
Not like agnostic atheist, agnostic Christian, like the actual definition of agnostic, but like, oh,
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to make my own opinions. I'm not afraid to make statements. I'm not afraid to, rock the boat a little bit. Like
Good for you. You're visiting our planet. You've come all the way from another time and space to be here.
Absolutely.
You've got a giant panda on your shirt. What's going on? Climbing the...
honestly, one of those questions I think should be referred to, what do you think of the Earth education
That's the reason.
pedagogy? Because this is very clearly not a panda. It's actually a jackal. That's what someone told me, at least. I'm just taking it at face
That
value.
is not a jackal. I'm sorry. Clearly, your perception is a little off on that one.
But don't jackals eat the leaves and climb on
Jackals may eat leaves, but they don't fight. They don't fight biplanes on the Empire State Building.
I think I might have to concede that, because I personally haven't seen anything this large. Earth doesn't have a lot of megafauna.
It doesn't
anymore.
matter, but I'll give you credit, just Stephen, for having the nerve to wear that on planet Earth. I think that's great. That says a lot about you.
Pick anything and see how it goes.
It's that mixing of cultures and medias together into a new statement that means so much to me, and which is kind of ultimately what we do here.
Yeah, about 100 years ago, I was the one who gave, I'm trying to remember his name, but the idea of that place where you relieve yourself just upside down and you put his signature on it, called it Dadaist. What do you call that?
Dadaism?
Mayonal.
You're going back to the Mayans?
No, urinal.
You're talking to somebody who's in maintenance. I know all
Well,
about
then you should know all about this. I don't know why you didn't answer it earlier. But yeah, he put it. I put it upside down because he's like, oh, it's just a thing, and I'm like, why can't this be art? And I thought it was a serious question because I was like, I don't know what that is. I thought art was a guy who works out at the Ace Hardware store. Or like something Garfunkel or something.
I'm a big believer in art.
Oh, well, there you go.
I
think it's the painted bedroom from Toy Story that I see whenever I look at clouds.
Really? That's an interesting perception.
It's a big movie on our planet, let me tell you.
So you have a lot of movies on your planet.
Oh, of course, we ship them all. We get as many recordings as possible.
Are you watching our movies on your planet?
Some of them. I will say, we have significantly better Korean dramas.
Oh, that's easy.
Well, once we figured out Korean, we just made it work.
But you don't have any K-pop, right? There's no K-pop on your planet. Tell me no.
It's the one thing we have to import, just because we can't really get the hang of it.
I know. I don't understand it.
We have, what do you call it? Two left lungs when you can't make the sound come out right, or two left
Is that
hands.
how they do it?
I don't know. I'm really new to the thumbs thing, and so I'm trying to make it work. But I can't promise anything. I just gotta be real with you.
Oh, the K-pop reference. That was a good thing.
It is one of the more double-edged facets, I think, of human culture.
It's true. And, I think now is the perfect opportunity to really get into discussing human culture.
Oh,
I think when I'm looking at the clock, look at this. It's exactly where we need to be in this time and space. I've got my striking stick right here. I have a list of 6 questions that you've given me. That let's listen to these questions and we'll talk a little bit about them. And these are once again the questions that I'll be giving to my guests, future guests, when they come in here, and all delivered to me, hand delivered to me by my friend Garrett here tonight from the Galactic High Command. Coming to the Inspirational Space Station with your wisdom and just everything in the nose ring and the whole thing.
This actually is attached to one of my bones.
Is it?
Well, we have more of an exoskeleton kind of deal, but this is it's like, how some birds have like really bright feathers.
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yes, it is.
This one's magnetic though. It's because I have a really high iron diet. Because we use that, we metabolize that the hydrogen really quickly.
Okay, I was wondering if I took a 9-volt battery and put it on each side, what would happen?
Well, you could just put it next to the other 2 that I have taped to the back of my neck.
Oh, there you go.
It'll fit right in.
There you go. And that's the perfect lead-in to our questions tonight that you need to that you've submitted to us. Let's get back into our regular mode here. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, question 1 that you've submitted. Yes. Let's have a review list and we'll see what we think.
Remind me, please.
Here we go.
Clothes are very interesting to us. When putting on your shoes, do you put on a sock first and then a shoe? Or do you put on a sock, then a sock, then a shoe, followed by another shoe?
Now, why is that interesting to you?
Because I find that it really tells you a lot about what priorities a person has. For example, if you're going to put on your own socks and then not your significant other's socks and then their shoes and then your shoes,
right?
What do you think of them? It means you don't care about whether their feet are warm.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What are you even telling your loved one about? Like, what I do is I put one sock on and I give a full 3-hour back massage, or the equivalent. We don't have backs there either. And then I don't even think about it for 2 days before putting on the second sock.
Wow.
Then we get to the shoes. It has to be a whole routine. Otherwise, then I'm just alone watching cartoons.
So you've almost got a week process just to get ready for your next week ahead each week.
Oh, I have like a weird schedule. Remember the time travel thing?
Well, that's what it is. That's really what controls it all.
It's just so much work, and so that's why I like to wear flip-flops, because you don't have to wear socks.
That makes so much more sense.
And so someone showed me how you could
you have so much to teach us.
Of course, you could put a little metal hook thing under the flip-flop, and you could use it to open tin beverages.
You could use our feet like hands.
Like hands.
Dude, you are going to just revolutionize our entire species.
Well, not before I revolutionize mine.
Well,
I'm bringing this right back with K-pop. The second best thing besides K-pop, vodka soda. We didn't figure that out, and then when you guys showed up with that, the game was changed.
I hear it. And when you get that many dancers dancing in front of one guy singing, it's just like, rah, 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 rah. What are they saying? I don't care. Rah, rah, rah. It's just like it's the moves.
It's more of like you have to. It's like how some birds will like drum, like they'll make a sound.
True.
It's like you gotta put up your tail feathers a little bit. You gotta.
That's what they're doing.
You gotta woo.
How's that again?
You gotta woo. I think that's what birds do.
Say it again.
You gotta woo.
That's a whole cricket. You gotta
woo. I still struggle to get the tone.
What if I go woo?
So that's how they do it. That's an amazing thing how they do that.
It really is. Not many species of bird can do that.
No, or people, or
species of people.
Species of people. My goodness. Well, we've learned a lot just discussing our clothes so far.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we really came to a decision. I know when I'm putting on mine, I put on a sock and then a shoe and a shoe. And I think a lot of people, typically on planet Earth, that's what they do.
If you're not concerned with maintaining the absolute rigid connection with your significant other, like worshipping, then it's much more efficient to do sock, sock, shoe, shoe, tire, shoes, whatever, Velcro, I don't care.
It's a systematic approach to life.
Or hook and loop, as the Velcro lawyers would recommend you say.
The Velcro lawyers.
The company Velcro released a music video featuring all of their lawyers saying, please stop calling it Velcro, call it hook and loop, or just like Band-Aid, we're going to lose the copyright or whatever on that.
Oh, no. It makes me want a Coke. All right, let's go to question number 2 submitted here from Garrett. All right, here we go. Number 2.
When constructing your foods to ingest, why is it you stack your foods one topping over another? We believe that you call this a sandwich. Which is your favorite sandwich and why?
Important question for people here.
It is, and I actually have a fun little treat to share with the people here who are listening to this. On my home planet, it is considered an art form to fully deconstruct and then reconstruct the idea of what constitutes a sandwich. For example, you would take your open flat bread and you put the processed milk on it. What do you call it? A pizza. You take that, and then if you fold it, it's no longer a pizza. It's a calzone.
Tell them right there.
Calzone. It's a calzone. It's a calzone, I think. But then you have it, if it's folded up a little bit, then sushi. Or maybe it's a taco. I don't understand. But we have a great time debating this. We have a whole chart and several separate things you can do to organize based on which one thing is. If I had to be 100% honest, all-time favorite is going to have to be, I gotta keep it simple, grilled cheese with tomato soup.
Oh, the classic.
Absolutely classic. Personally, I supplement with a little bit of battery acid and maybe some, what do you guys call it? Asbestos. I find it gives me a good cleansing sensation.
That combination.
With a hint of lime. I find that goes down real smooth.
The lime.
Yeah, absolutely. But as far as the taxonomy is concerned behind sandwiches, I mean, unless you're Gordon Ramsay or something. I don't know if the rigid definition of sandwich used to apply. What's your favorite sandwich?
Well, me, you see, from my professorial attitude, I like to go toward the classic too, but I lean more toward the bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Crispy bacon, and I want the peppered bacon, not the maple bacon. I want the crispy bacon peppered, and I want to put it crispy, not burnt, but crispy on toast. By the way, maybe even a Dutch crunch roll.
Okay,
right, and with fresh tomatoes, and I like heirloom tomatoes because they're meaty. They're not watery.
Gives you a good chunk.
Good chunk in there. And I'm going to go out on the edge of this and say not only lettuce, but I'm thinking arugula, because I like to say it. I like to say my sandwich has arugula.
Arugula, it rolls off out of the tongue or on the tongue. I will say, we don't call it arugula in every part of our planet, and also you don't call it arugula here on your entire planet. You also call it
what?
It's what you use to go out of the atmosphere. Rocket.
Oh, yeah. I remember the rocket salad.
Rocket salad. They do that in the place where it's cold and they're all miserable and the food's garbage. What's it called? Ingland. Yeah.
Is that it?
Ingland.
Ingland?
It's like when you have those things here, like on your brain. Ingland.
I see.
It's in.
I still like to say arugula.
Arugula. You can't go wrong with arugula.
Hey, turn to that camera right there. Say hi to Donovan.
Hey, hi, Donovan.
Hi, Donovan.
How you doing, Donovan?
Glad you're checking in tonight.
Hey, Donovan, I have a question for you.
Ask Donovan.
Donovan, can you tell me something real quick, please?
Yeah, please.
When you make a sandwich, do you put the little toothpick with the little flag? Follow-up question, what country is that flag from? Because I don't know. I don't understand. I'm trying to not make it political, but if I put a flag with a sandwich that has a flag for Palestine on it, then suddenly it's a big issue.
That could be a problem.
I just wanted a grilled cheese. Oh my God.
I have an issue as well. I don't think you should adorn any sandwich anything you can't eat. And if you're putting a toothpick in a sandwich, you're asking me to eat this toothpick?
Paleo, right?
I have a problem with that.
Isn't that what you guys call paleo?
Yes, eating toothpicks. That'll make you lose weight right there. Yeah. Eat toothpicks. That'll lose weight.
That or glue. I did that when I was younger.
Glue? No.
That's why I'm like this.
No, is that it? All right.
A lot of glue.
Adventures in space. Yes, Donovan, yes. He said he's got aliens. He said, okay. And for some reason, he said Canada.
Canada. Oh!
What's the reference?
The flag.
Oh, the flag, of
the
course.
Maple. Sorry, he
Not
wouldn't
the
like that
maple.
because he likes the crispy, but not the maple bacon.
Man.
I'm so
All right,
sorry.
All right. No, I totally deserve that, too. You know, based on that, I think Donovan needs to hear our third question tonight.
Oh, of course, please, Donovan, go ahead.
Because we're continuing on,
sorry.
Donovan. You dropped in on this. We have 6 questions
Donovan.
that, you know, Donovan's going to be on our show, too.
Oh,
well,
congratulations,
he's down in
Donovan.
L.A. right now. Matter of fact, Donovan and I almost broke the internet with his last visit. So when he comes back, we're going to work on that again, right?
Oh, delightful.
Yeah, we're going to break it. They can fix it. It doesn't matter. Either way, I think about this question because this would be one of the questions you'll be asked as well. All of my guests coming in, as Garrett has brought me these questions from his planet, Garrett. And what did I say? Number 3? Is that where we're at? Yes,
number 3.
Yeah, we're on number 3. Here you go.
Since humans are mainly bags of mostly water in a flexible container, what do you think happens to you when your body ceases to exist? Please explain.
Much like when you use Tupperware to make a very strong marinara dish and it becomes permanently stained red, while you would never want to use it again because obviously functionally it's basically garbage now, there still is the innate value of knowing you had the Tupperware. The Tupperware is the friends we made along the way.
Whoa. You are just, yes, so much to teach us. I'm so impressed.
What's the one question I want to ask, because this is the one thing ever that I never understand that humans can't really comprehend. When you close the drawer to the Tupperware,
right?
Oh, sorry, I don't want to offend the Tupperware lawyers too.
The sealed container.
Exactly, the sealed plastic food container. Where do you think it goes when you open it up and suddenly one of the lids is just gone? Because what we figured out is actually through quantum physics, we can figure out every so often little fractures of matter will just vanish, and especially if it's plastic containers, it'll just suck off a whole chunk, like the lid or the bowl part, the whole thing, which is why when you open up, you're like, why do I have 50 lids in one bowl?
Ah, it's like socks.
It's like socks.
What is
Except the socks, it's not quantum physics. That's
No,
just
it's
some guy.
not. Yeah, I don't. It's a weird conundrum, isn't it?
It's one guy who got really good at time traveling. He can also do space, so he just kind of shoves his hand through this hole. It's kind of like warbling.
And steals our socks.
Pulls out a sock.
And you tell me there's a third void inside the dryer that he can reach through and grab it from my dryer? 'Cause that's where I lose my socks.
No, I mean...
I know I put 2 in there, and I only get 1 out. Something's going on in there,
There's
and I
one
don't
guy,
know
I think,
what.
called Blarfengar. What he does
Oh,
is goes there...
hold on. What was his name again?
Blarfengar.
Okay.
Can you...
No.
I understand. I don't want to offend.
It's beyond my species.
But he just likes to go in there and eat the lint.
Oh. Well, that explains why I have very little lint in my dryer.
Well, there you go. That's because Blarfengar is showing you a friendly visit. It's much like your fabled Sand Claus. Sand Claus?
Sand Claus.
Sand Claus.
Sandy Claus.
Sandy Claus.
Sandy Claus.
Is he a tropical figure?
Yes.
Is the beach strong?
Yes,
being?
I'm just going to say yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Considering he has large mandibles. I assumed he would be human, but with the mandibles or the pincers, it's I can't really understand it.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Another mystery. I'll watch another Hallmark Christmas movie.
You're going to have to. Is that where it is?
So far, all I see is average-looking men proposing to someone who works at a Christmas tree farm or who's too busy with
Well, you just hit every Christmas movie in one that we watch as a species.
My favorite one is the one where it's the poster of the guy wearing a red shirt and the girl's wearing a green shirt.
Oh, that is so Christmas.
So original,
that is
it
so
never
Christmas.
happens.
So Christmas. God, I love that. I love that. Well, that's great. All right. I believe everybody's ready now for our number 3. Oh, wait, let's review over here. Let's review what Donovan's saying, because Donovan's, that's what I love about this format. Donovan's down in Los Angeles right now, and unless he's on the other side of the planet, which he does, we'll find out. He's handy toothpicks. Burn it down. He said, "What? Our energy never goes away. It only changes into another form."
Sometimes.
He says sometimes.
Usually, yes, and normally you can just abide by the laws of physics, and you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to encounter anyone and be like, oh, whatever.
Right.
But sometimes, if you drop like a small device, like a writing utensil, for example, sometimes it just hits the corks just the right angle, gone forever.
Cork.
I lost my mom that way.
Oh, man.
Tripped and fell over a small pebble.
Yeah?
Yeah. Next thing I know, it was just a bowl of shattered macaroni shells on the ground. No trace of it.
Vanished into a cork. A cork hole.
Oh, no, exactly. Yeah, that's the more
like
simplistic way of doing it.
Yeah. It's not quite as deep as a black hole. The cork hole, from what I understand, is not quite as...
It's much more casual. It's not really interested in long-term commitment. It wants to keep things simple. It's not really wanting to abide by the rules. It might be open to a throuple maybe in the future, but it doesn't want anything more than that. Not to be tied down, of course.
Of course. Who wants to be tied down?
Go to Clocks on 5. Let me tell you who's tied
okay.
down.
Let's see, what else is going on over here? The roadie. Who is the roadie anyway? I know roadies. I wonder if that's the roadie.
I know a guy named Roadie.
Yeah? I don't know. This is the roadie.
He works at a diner, and I use that with air quotations because even I'm not sure what that physically means.
Really?
But if you could just picture someone with a handlebar mustache and a very poor taste in fashion permanently washing a cup with a dirty wrist rag, that's basically a roadie.
Man, is that you? Is that you? We'll find out. But he says, I assume it was a he, and I could be wrong, not to be specific in any of that, but I should have asked, is there any music on the car? And I'm going, on the car? I don't know.
To be fair, what we have usually installed in most space-capable flight craft is, what is it called? It's one of the albums. It's not a K-pop one. I'm very familiar with it, though, because it's usually like a childhood. Coat of Many Colors, does that ring a bell?
Coat of Many Colors, that does ring
From
a
the
bell.
esteemed Darlene Pardone. Darlene Parmesan? Parchisi? Something. Something about...
Dolly Parton?
That one, yes,
That
her
one.
famed classic. I can't remember the names. I'm not good with
the
human
rock and
names
roll
very
singer.
well. It all sounds the same to me. rock and roll.
Well, she is now.
Yeah. Oh,
now. You see?
They'll let
You've been
anybody
watching,
in.
haven't you?
Rock and roll.
You know what's going on. You know she was admitted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
here's what I would like for such a esteemed organization. I would really love it for someone at high class and high. What would you call that? Something that someone possesses that's unnameable. Gumption. Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
We have that. That's that word actually came from our home planet.
Gall.
Gall. Aren't those like Irish people or something?
Oh, no, I thought that'd be a good word from your planet. Gall.
No, it sounds too similar to a lot of other verbs we use.
Was that cursing? Was that cursing in your planet or something?
No, it was more like saying, I sleep.
Okay.
Like
all right.
really jilted. You were trying.
Well, Billy
it's
Joel
okay.
had a lot of gall. He made me sleep.
Joel. Who's that guy playing the
He was a
trumpet
piano
or
man,
something?
right? No, he was a piano man.
Oh yeah, he was in that gay bar. Piano Man?
Piano Man?
Piano Man.
Piano Man. There's a
Yes,
movie, right?
what
The
a-
piano.
Yeah.
Did he star in that? Was that about the story about the... We're so far
No,
off
it
track.
was the biopic about the piano.
Oh, that's really what...
Life of its own, you know.
You know, honestly, somebody should do a movie just about a piano.
Could you imagine?
Just a piano. No people
You know that
involved.
movie about the tire that blows people up?
No.
You would.
Do
Let
you?
me tell you. If anyone knows, drop the name. It's phenomenal. It's basically a sentient tire that goes rolling around and will just boom. And the main cast of the movie is people who are just watching it all happen as if they were the audience.
Really?
It's a phenomenal film. One of the highest Earth quality films. Second, maybe to Julie and Julia.
We already had Will and Grace.
We love duo names. 3 names, that's it. Like Jesse Tyler Ferguson, absolutely despised. We can't have more than two separate word chunks.
No, it's true. It's very true. I agree 100%. Oh, look over here. The roadie has claimed herself. It's May. It's May K. That's who the roadie is. May K.
May K.
May K. See?
Maybe.
Now we know. No, maybe about it.
May K or May B?
No. AKA May K.
AKA May K.
AKA May K.
That rolls really well.
It rolls really well off the tongue right there. It's a beautiful thing. While at the same time, Donovan Stark just says balls.
Hey, you know what?
I'm hoping that's a Craig Ferguson reference because that's what his sidekick, the skeleton. I'm forgetting his name. How could that be? Balls.
Skeleton, the really...
That was the best side kick on
Kate
TV.
Moss?
Kate Moss.
Kate Winslet?
Skinny enough to be that, but no. No, I'm forgetting.
Kate Beckinsale.
He wasn't a K-pop singer either. No.
Oh, well, then I would.
Nah, that's all right. It's going to pop into my head eventually. And somebody will balls.
Hey, someone has to.
Balls. Okay, we asked the fourth question already, didn't we? So we have that's right. That's right. Oh no, we didn't ask the fourth question.
I don't think we got the question.
No, we haven't. No, we've got one coming up right here, and it is.
Humans have an interesting relationship with the animals on their planet, some more than others. Do you have an animal guide?
Why is that important?
Honestly, it's really more. It tells us how any given species will form interplanetary relations, or just how they're going to react to other things that don't look like them.
True.
For example, cats. You guys love cats. They were actually the second species behind water bears to make it off of Earth. They discovered flight craft very early. It was very surprising. They're one of the earlier ones to do it, and usually get to like closer to the main quadrant of the galaxy that we all occupy.
Cats in space.
Exactly. Yeah. How did you know about that?
I folklore. I've known about cats in space since I was just a little kitten.
Very
little tiny kitten. Cats in space.
Kitten, I'm curious why you say kitten specifically.
Well, because everything when they're small starts off as a kitten and grows into a cat. You start off as a little amoeba and you turn into a little baby.
But why does the word get shorter if the thing gets bigger?
Oh,
would not be a kit to a catten?
Well, that's true. No, that's part of our.
Wouldn't that make more sense?
That's just the way language works on this planet. Don't try to read too much into the way we say things, because half the time we don't even know what we're saying. We reinvent words and invent words as we go and pretend like that is what we meant to say.
And
like me, I sometimes I say things like that and I feel much more intelligent. I really do.
Bartholomew. Hold on, I got some others.
Excuse me.
Platitudinous. That feels very platitudinous to me.
I was going to say Gesundheit. I thought you sneezed.
What is that?
Platitudinous.
No, sneezing.
Oh, I don't know. I thought maybe you expelled some sort of word that seemed more like a
You'll know when we
bodily
expel
function.
something. Let me tell you. We have to have a whole separate.
And then I thought you said platypus, which is a whole other topic. Which I thought, is that what he's wearing on his shirt? Is a platypus climbing the Empire State Building?
Honestly, it's anyone's guess. I'm not really sure anymore. I thought I had a good zoological.
I'm still going to say a panda.
Panda, I'll take panda.
I'm staying with the panda.
It's got a face and it's got ears and hands. Pandas have those, right?
Yes. Somebody has a question over here about Rhodey. About is Garrett a Minch? Are you a Minch?
I don't think it's fair for me to say. The only one who could say that would be my late mother, who tripped on a pebble and disintegrated into outer space.
Into the cork.
Into the cork, of course.
Right.
I do believe on here you can't refer to yourself as a mensch, but you can assign that to other people. It's like insulting or degrading yourself. While you doesn't have any kind of the same impact.
You can say you're a Minch, but you can't say I'm a Minch.
It's a value judgment, and if it comes from you, it's like saying I'm perfect and better than everyone and more intelligent and wise, which I am, because I am, and I know that, and that's just, it's okay. It's difficult being always right as a species, but we've managed to make our way, and we really hope that you guys figure that one out.
Well, this is why you're here tonight. I mean, you're really just rounding all the sharp edges of our society into something that's conceptually understandable, and something that we can kind of like smooth the edges even further into making it something that's more consistent into what we'd like it to be.
Well, it does make it easier. I do like also making things more confusing, because I feel like it's a sort of sport that a lot of brain people, what do you guys call it? Intellectuals.
There you go.
What they love to do is make things more complicated so they have something to deduce from the complication that makes it simple.
I completely agree. I understand that. About people on Earth, let's have question 5 here.
We estimate there are over 8 billion people on planet Earth. Is there someone that you think we should meet first, and why?
Now, I didn't entirely understand this question as the way I phrased it initially.
Would you like to hear it again?
One more time, because I don't remember the mind space I was in when I conceptualized it.
We estimate there are over 8 billion people on planet Earth. Is there someone that you think we should meet first, and why?
Oh, I understand of the origin. It's more of a representatives from Earth.
Yes.
Well, initially it was whoever would be the loudest and most attention drawing, just to make things easier for everyone. If you don't even need to find an audience, and that cuts out a whole middleman.
Why did Bob Goldthwait pop into my mind?
Bob Goldthwait.
Well, he's a loud comedian. I thought somebody really just out there.
There's a couple that we've already.
But who would you point to? You're asking us. Who's inspirational on this planet that you would like to speak to?
I would like to speak to.
Who, besides me?
You know what? If I had to pick someone, if we're not going to go with the most realistic, for example, if they've already decomposed or disintegrated or sucked into a cork or whatever, Whitney Houston. Because when she tells everyone, "I want to dance with somebody," what does that mean? Because I think it sets up an interesting philosophical conundrum, because for us on our planet, dancing is a very intimate and very important politically action.
And is she really asking, "I want to dance with somebody," or is she saying, "I want to dance with somebody"? You see, it's like what the Beatles used to do. They twisted around, and you didn't know what their perception was. You hadn't thought about that, did you? Did she want to dance with somebody, or did she want to dance with somebody?
It would certainly make more sense how we interpreted it if it was with a body. But it's so much easier if they're living.
You see? Whitney Houston is deep.
Well, she's the only one who did the national anthem in a way it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, so.
She's got a great Christmas album, too, right?
Good for,
Come on.
Well, who else was on the
Well,
Christmas
Mariah
album?
Carey.
Like Elton John, Michael Bublé.
Can we get rid of Mariah Carey, please?
What? I would say that's number 2, probably.
All right. On your planet?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. How about Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson is a little bit of a sore spot for some people, only because he really shaped the pop genre. The title King of Pop, I feel, is quite deserving for him. But it's like listening to Lana Del Rey. When you've heard it once, you've heard every single song, like I'm drunk on a beach and there's a cigarette in my pasta, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, it's like listening to 2 hours of Dua Lipa.
Dula Peep.
Dula Peep?
That's what we call her on our planet.
Yeah?
Yeah, Dula Peep.
That makes sense.
It ends up it's a lot easier for us to pronounce, so we just default to that.
Dula Peep.
Dula Peep.
Dula Peep. I like that. I'm sure. I don't know how she feels about it, but who cares? She's not going to find us.
I think she was asked that at one point. I think she was okay with it.
Was she?
I think she's okay with it.
All right.
She's a good sport.
All right. Well, let's see here. Here's a good question for you. And this is our 6th question here, and the last one that you submitted to us. And thank you so much for bringing all this knowledge to us and asking us to think on our own. And here you go. This is number 6.
My pleasure, of course.
We have noticed that people on your planet have different accents. Do you believe that animals on your planet have different accents as well in relationship to their global position?
While the concept of an accent is a little bit removed when it's entirely different types of communication logistically.
True.
We have seen through several media recordings or documentaries of some kind advertising a staple of Central American food where there is a small dog that has a very strong accent and in fact speaks a different language.
I see.
And it likes a person who I'm not sure of, haven't heard of, but maybe he's more famous in newer times. It's called, what's his name? Todd Cobell?
Todd Cobell?
Todd Cobell. Yeah. And
Todd Cobell.
Todd Cobell.
Todd Cobell. Yes, I eat there frequently.
What do you mean?
Taco Bell.
You can eat him?
Oh, yes. He's a small chihuahua.
Todd Cobell, the chihuahua. Now I have even more questions, but I do appreciate you including this into the full.
I had to wrap it around.
That's understandable.
Because when you like, as I like to think, when you have if you have a French poodle who lives in New York, and this French poodle is raised by New York people who talk like New York people, I'm not going to try to imitate one.
Forget about it.
There you go. Forget about it. And you got a French
it.
poodle that's actually been raised its entire life in France with people who speak French around it. Does that dog have an accent? Does that dog know the difference between bark bark in New York and bark bark in how deep does that bark bark really go? Is there more to that bark bark than we can even begin to understand as a human?
I would say surprisingly in this case, probably only, it's actually a lot easier to tell the difference because the French dog is going to have a much more raspy sounding bark because of all the smoking they do.
Oh, that's true, isn't it? Yes. The French dogs are around a lot of smoking, and so they're going to get second hand.
They, in between their paws, they have a special slot they've evolved, a little fat fold there.
Is that something that's developed only
right in there?
Only in French dogs? I did not know that.
That and South Kenyan, but that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, and then the Jamaican dogs too. Also, the little paws kind of.
Oh no, they kind of just dig, and then the fumes that come up from that they have a very weird thing though. It's all about dirt.
Interesting. Well, that certainly sheds some light on accents with animals around our planet.
Absolutely, I'm glad to help elucidate it.
All right. I've got one last question for you.
Of course, yes.
And then we're gonna.
Send me back.
We're gonna have to at some point. At some point, this is not your time and space. No, this is a different space-time continuum for you. I appreciate you even acknowledging it and sharing it with us because I know in a flash of an instant you'll be back in the planet GARRETT. And just like that, and I hope you remember this conversation.
I probably won't. I'm already like halfway into a game of Go with this one cat on the whole planet.
Oh,
we're neighbors. He's loud, kind of an asshole, but
you're already home. You just look like you're here.
Basically.
Okay. Well, I understand that. It happens to me a lot at work. And it's interesting that we know each other at work because what an interesting place it is for us to kind of be subversive and watch the people of this planet than working in a grocery store.
It's probably one of the easiest places to see the whole spectrum.
That's true.
Of humanity.
Yeah, and you work right there with them, don't you?
Absolutely.
I clean up after them. You see, we're at the frontal and the backtal.
For one end, I really envy your end, just because you don't really have to get into it. Except for like when you're pulling out a bag of garbage and you have to actually
I got to get into that. Yeah.
But when I get into it, it's because someone's trying to rest their elbow on me as they're explaining how their mom just died.
Oh.
Which I understand, and I'm glad to use emotional labor to support them, but
that's tough.
Taxing.
That's a lot to put on you, and when you're just being so nice to visit our planet and doing some work while you're here.
I just wanted some wheatgrass.
You come over to the bakery. They mow down that wheatgrass on a regular basis over there. They'll set you up with a nice big shot, and if not, I'll do a shot of espresso with you, and we'll round it all out, and we'll have conversations about this conversation.
Yeah, it's like PEMDAS.
All right, one last question for you.
Absolutely.
What number am I thinking of?
3.
Yes.
Not only do we possess very strong latent psychokinetic abilities, I'm also able to read his mind. But I didn't even have to. 3, great number, strong shape. Perfect, sturdy, reliable. You made big stone versions of them in the middle of the northern part of the continent.
Absolutely. The triangle right there.
Triangle right there. Like that's the shape the cats used when they first came off of Earth. Big triangle-shaped vessels.
Really?
They figured aerodynamics would help, but they didn't understand how that works in space.
Somehow it all filters into Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Interesting. I experienced that urban legend, which we'll talk about on some future episode of Tiny House Live. Not tonight.
I look forward
tonight
to
we've got right here my friend from the planet, Garrett, right here joining me tonight from Tiny House Live, high above the tiny house in the hills of Petticoat.
Very high.
In the inspirational space station, man. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge. Are you about ready to go? I'm gonna have to send you back down.
That's understandable. I have to wait a face for my charge up, but I'll just have the bathroom.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna do something real quick here. I'm gonna get you set, ready to go. You ready? I'm gonna ask you to.
I'm ready, Scotty.
You ready?
I think that's what they call him.
Well, it's not Scotty in this case because I've got everything under control.
Randy?
But yes, close enough. No, the professor will do it in this world. the professor will do in this world. All right, let's do this. Let's ask you to go ahead and get back in your time capsule over here. I'm going to send you back down. Say goodbye to everybody right there.
Goodbye, everyone. It was very lovely making your acquaintance. I will be back. It will be like Independence Day, but not as explosive, and there will be no dogs.
No, nobody's going to punch you like Independence Day. Oh, no slapping.
I wish they would, to be honest.
Really?
It'd be exhilarating. It's like walking on coals. It's like what Oprah does.
It's like what Oprah does.
She walks on coals and eats bread.
Does she?
From what I know. I don't have a great reliable source.
Well, it's a car for you. We get a car for you tonight. And a winner.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. My
Oh,
pleasure.
my God. 2007 Hyundai Sonata. Sign me up.
All right, everybody. Shots for everybody, Donovan says. Shots for everybody. Yeah, we've had a few. All right, climb back over there in your space capsule. We're going to send you back into your planet. Are you ready? All right, I see you over there. Hang on a second. I got to get my trajectory correct. I want to send you in the right spot. I don't want to mess this up because it's important you get to the right place. Then we'll come back and we'll say our goodbyes, and I'll check out with you later. All right, and yes, you ready? Here you go. Say goodbye. Here he goes. There he goes. He's down in the position. He's off. There he goes. Look at him go. Whoa! You are just an amazing flight. Look at him. He's flying back to Earth. There he goes. This amazing thing. Oh, you are so cool. Tonight, right there from the Inspiration Space Station, that was Garrett right here giving us our list of the 6 magic questions that we'll be giving the rest of our visitors coming up on Tiny House Live and the Inspirational Space. Did I mention my hat? Thank you, Ari. I got a nice hat here. I deserve it tonight, as we all do, for maintaining this train of thought with us. What a wonderful thing tonight. What did we do? We're going to watch it and try to figure out exactly what just happened to us. Whatever just happened to us, know that it was only here on Tiny House Live. Where else would you experience something half as deep as this? Or in my case, just a regular day in my tiny house. People dropping in saying hello. All right, I'm going back myself too. I've got to get back down to the planet. I've got work tomorrow. Garrett doesn't have any work tomorrow, do you? No, he's off work tomorrow. Good. Well, you can catch up with me at that store, and I guess over the weekend you can catch up with him at that store. And either way, we wish you very well. Thank you so much for joining me on this tonight. I love you dearly. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, May. A lot of fun. And for those who weren't with us live and you catch us later on demand, thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying this whole little thing. It's just what we do here in Tiny House Live. You're a special world to me. And on that note, I love you. Here you go. We're out of here. Bye, you guys. I'll see ya. See ya soon. Bye. Bye.